Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be making a new type of video. I'm going to be explaining the full story of Treasure Planet, like the development, the marketing and how it flopped. I know this is a new type of video on my channel, but I'm going to try it out. So without further ado, you want to hear and I want to explain, so let's start the video. Okay, so for the story, first of all, before I go into the story, I'd like to say that it's basically a recreation of the 1883 novel Treasure Island, but it has the Disney touch, which is basically more childish, more imaginative. So, yes. Now, for the story, it was pitched by Ron Clements and John Musker for the first time in 1985 during the Gong Show, which is an American game show. At the same time, they also pitched the story of The Little Mermaid, and it got accepted, but Treasure Island got rejected as Disney basically showed disinterest in the story. The second time Ron Clements and John Musker pitched the idea to Disney was in 1989 after The Little Mermaid released. Once again, Disney showed disinterest and rejected the idea, but Ron Clements and John Musker still didn't give up on the idea of Treasure Planet. They still wanted to release it and make it an official Disney movie. So they were willing to pitch the idea to Disney one more time in 1995, and they got a different answer this time. Disney approved of the idea and said that they could start work on Treasure Planet right after Hercules was finished. So Ron Clements and John Musker gathered the team of animators, marketing people, voice actors, and they immediately started work on Treasure Planet after Hercules had been released. And the development of Treasure Planet was so hard that it took them nearly 5 years to complete the development of Treasure Planet, because Ron Clements and John Musker really wanted Treasure Planet to be remembered by a lot of people and make it a Disney classic. And finally, in the year 2000, they started fully animating Treasure Planet. And it was estimated that approximately 1,027 crew members worked on Treasure Planet with Ron Clements and John Musker. Okay, so the marketing. Now, this is probably the first point where I feel the movie failed. The marketing wasn't really good. They did get big companies like Coca-Cola and McDonald's to promote Treasure Planet, but that's all they did. They didn't really advertise it a lot. Except for a video game that released about 20 days before the movie, I believe. But that's pretty much it for the marketing. Okay, another thing the movie didn't have good for it was its release date. It was released in November 5th, 2002, and that's not the best release date per se, because, well, Lilo and Stitch just released 5 months before it and was gonna release on video 1 month after the movie was released. And Lilo and Stitch gained a lot of positive reviews from critics, and a lot of people went to see it at cinemas, to the point where it got $273 million in the box office. So the hype was still around for Lilo and Stitch kind of in November. So that's why Treasure Planet didn't really do well. I think it's because of Lilo and Stitch. Okay, so when Treasure Planet finally released after almost 17 years of waiting from Ron Clements and John Musker, it didn't really get any money at all. You see, 1992's Aladdin, which was directed and produced by Ron Clements and John Musker, got $217 million in America alone. Treasure Planet got $107 million worldwide. So this is really a big flop for Disney. They spent $140 million making the movie, and it only got them $107 million. It got only $38 million in America and $70 million in other territories. So when Treasure Planet released, it was a major flop. But the critical reception was pretty good for Treasure Planet. It got 69% on Rotten Tomatoes. It got a 7.2 out of 10 in IMDb. And it got a 60% on Metacritic. So the movie wasn't really bad, though the story didn't appeal to a lot of people. Okay, so after it released, it got nominated for a lot of awards, most notably the Academy Award for Best Animated Picture, but it lost to Spirited Away. And they were also planning to make a sequel to Treasure Planet. While they were making Treasure Planet, they had a few stories for the sequel, but when Treasure Planet eventually got released and flopped, they cancelled the sequel because they didn't think it would do well. In 2003, 1 year after it was released, nothing really happened to Treasure Planet except it got its DVD and VHS release in March 2003, and that's pretty much it for Treasure Planet. Anyways, this is the end of the video. I really enjoyed making this video. If you enjoyed watching it, make sure to leave a like and comment down below telling me how I did. But anyways, I have to go now. So goodbye and stay safe.